Get ready to unravel one of history's biggest enigmas. There are 13 mind-blowing crystal skulls hidden worldwide, handcrafted by Mesoamerican masters thousands of years ago. These aren't just any ordinary relics. Some believe they hold incredible powers, healing diseases, storing ancient wisdom, or even saving the planet when combined. I mean, have you laid eyes on these mysterious skulls? They're seriously jaw-dropping. Each one is a flawless work of art, carved from a single block of quartz with precision that's almost unbelievable, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the kicker. How did ancient cultures manage such perfection without the fancy tools we take for granted today? It's like they're saying, we've been holding on to secrets, and our craftsmanship just got a whole lot more legendary. So, what's behind the global obsession with these crystal skulls? Do they hold real power, or are we just fascinated by their mystique? Let's dive in. It all began with an adventurous teenager named Anna Mitchell Hedges and a trusty machete back in 1924. She was digging up ancient secrets alongside her dad at the mysterious city of Lubonton, deep within British Honduras, now Belize dense jungle. This place was shrouded in silence, its crumbling Mayan stonework hiding untold stories for centuries. Little did Anna know that one swing of her machete would unearth a relic that would change everything, a life-sized crystal skull, carefully crafted by some long-lost civilization. And believe it or not, this jaw-dropping discovery would set off a chain reaction that's still captivating our imagination today. As Anna's machete sliced through the ancient dust, something extraordinary caught her eye, a glint that hinted at secrets hidden for centuries. She gently brushed away the dirt, revealing an astonishing sight: a life-sized crystal skull. So meticulously carved from clear quartz, it shone like glass in the sunlight. This wasn't just any skull, it was anatomically precise, as if crafted by skilled hands to defy time itself. The Mitchell Hedges skull stood out, both mesmerizing and unsettling, a true enigma waiting to be unraveled. Little did Anna know that this incredible discovery would soon elevate her family heirloom into the epicenter of an enduring legend. Anna was convinced this crystal marvel was hundreds or even thousands of years old, a testament to ancient ingenuity and mystique. Her father, renowned adventurer F.A. Mitchell Hedges, didn't dispel the mystery entirely. Instead, he only whispered hints about its origins in one of his books. As for Anna, she took the skull on the road from 1967 onwards, sharing it with the world on a special platform, a pay-per-view case that sparked both wonder and curiosity. During these exhibitions, whispers began circulating among the Maya elders who still remembered their ancestors' tales. They claimed the Mitchell Hedges skull was no mere relic, but an instrument of dark legend used to take lives with the power of one's deepest desires. Anna's nickname for it, the Skull of Doom, only added fuel to the fire as tales began circulating that this was no ordinary relic. According to legend, high priests would lock eyes with the skull's haunting emptiness, enter a trance-like state, and supposedly converse with the divine. But here's where things got really dark. Sources claim the priests would then point an accusing finger at someone, perhaps a skeptic questioning their power, or one who dared speak ill of the artifact or its guardians. And before you knew it, tragedy would strike. It could be illness, accidents, or even curses. Anyone disrespecting the skull's mystique or doubting its purpose would face the consequences. The Skull of Doom was seen as a vessel for divine retribution or revenge, its flawless craftsmanship and unnerving aura making it easy to believe in its supposedly holy power. But what really sent chills down people's spines wasn't just the skull itself. There were more like it out there. In fact, before Anna stumbled upon this one, several other crystal skulls had already been uncovered, raising questions. How did these ancient relics end up scattered across history? And what secrets lay hidden within their mysterious design? These enigmatic relics showed up in some of the world's biggest cities, Paris and London, with supposed roots in Mexico or Guatemala. But here's the thing: they didn't turn up where archaeologists were digging. Instead, these mysterious skulls appeared randomly in private collections or dusty old shops selling antiques. Despite their unusual origins, by mid-century, crystal skulls had transcended mere novelty status. They'd become cultural icons, captivating people with an air of intrigue that refused to let go. The notion that these crystal skulls stored ancient secrets like digital files wasn't exactly flying high in mainstream circles. They weren't seen as some mystical hard drive spilling the beans from a bygone era. They were more about representing an elusive truth, a symbolic gateway to untapped wisdom, rather than the actual wisdom itself. Fast forward to the rise of the New Age movement, a perfect storm was brewing. Folks were fed up with conventional religion, hungry for answers that ancient civilizations might hold, and totally stoked on the idea that there's hidden knowledge out there waiting to unlock humanity's full potential. The crystal skulls went from being a topic of debate about their mysterious past to supposedly being relics from the fabled lost city of Atlantis. Their supposed purpose: a wild card. They could be portals to other dimensions, treasure troves of sacred wisdom, or even more out there ideas like catalysts for interdimensional travel. Some New Age writers went big, claiming these skulls were consciousness boosters that could supercharge psychic abilities, mend deep emotional wounds, or reveal the real story behind humanity's origins. The catch: you had to be spiritually ready, or at least, that's what they said. That's when the 13 Skulls prophecy really gained momentum. The idea that there are 13 crystal skulls hidden on our planet, each holding a vital piece of universal knowledge encoded within them, kind of like puzzle pieces made of quartz. The story goes that once these skulls are reunited in a sacred circle at precisely the right moment, with the right people leading the way, they'll unlock an earth-shattering revelation, one so powerful it could either be humanity's ultimate salvation or our downfall. Talk about high stakes. But here's the twist. Anna Mitchell Hedges, the self-appointed guardian of what she claimed was the most powerful skull, kept this enigmatic tale alive till her later years. She shared her wild experiences with the press, from talk show appearances to claims of the skull leaving a burn mark on her, and even how it could change color in response to emotions. She swore it held an otherworldly energy that science hadn't yet been able to crack. And as you can guess, these high-octane claims only fueled the fire, drawing in crowds ready to dive headfirst into this mystical world of crystal skulls and ancient prophecies. Enter Joshua Shapiro, the crystal skull explorer who catapulted this mystique to a worldwide phenomenon. He took the stage by storm with lectures, authored books, and even hosted meditations, all while boldly claiming he'd tapped into the skull's consciousness himself. And here's where it gets really mind-blowing. Many people who've crossed paths with these crystal skulls report having life-altering experiences, from overcoming chronic health issues to witnessing miraculous healings that baffled doctors. Some even credit a crystal skull encounter for sparking dreams that completely transformed their lives. So, if we put 2 and 2 together, touching a crystal skull basically guarantees an instant upgrade to your life, making it the ultimate combo of doctor, therapist, and magic wand all in one. Not bad for these uncertain times. But just when you thought this tale was outlandish enough, Dan Aykroyd steps into the spotlight with a totally serious face and a bottle of vodka. That's right, folks, the Ghostbusters legend co-founded Crystal Head Vodka, bottling up premium liquor within replicas of those mystical skulls. Talk about a unique marketing strategy. But what drives Dan Aykroyd's fascination with crystal skulls? According to him, it's all about the pursuit of spiritual clarity and the magic those mysterious objects supposedly hold. And he took this devotion to another level by co-creating Crystal Head Vodka, a premium spirit distilled 3 times from corn, served within replicas of those enigmatic skulls. So, is this Aykroyd's genuine passion or a clever marketing move? We might never know for sure. You've probably seen those crystal skulls in movies or heard about them as mysterious relics with an air of mystique. But did you know these ancient artifacts have recently become the centerpiece of an out-of-this-world conspiracy theory? It's true, thanks to the popular book and TV show Ancient Aliens. According to this captivating narrative, our ancestors weren't alone in shaping human history. They had some extraterrestrial help. And what better proof than these enigmatic crystal skulls, now seen as alien technology from another time and place? So, if we believe this epic sci-fi tale, these crystal skulls could have been like cosmic USB drives containing secrets and technology from an advanced alien civilization. Maybe they even served as homing devices for space explorers or 3-dimensional blueprints of the extraterrestrial beings who allegedly shaped our world. Now, buckle up because the story takes a wild turn. Supposedly, 13 of these skulls would be key players in a catastrophic event on December 21, 2012, when the Mayan calendar reached its final tick. Yep, that infamous end-of-the-world prediction you've probably heard about. You know what's wild? Just a few decades ago, these crystal skulls were considered sacred relics by many, holding deep spiritual significance. Then, they supposedly became intergalactic data storage devices, and next thing you know, they're touted as healing machines with a marketing twist straight out of a quirky ad campaign. And if that wasn't enough, we've got them being reimagined as extraterrestrial artifacts. It's like the crystal skulls have been on quite the journey through the realm of myths and misconceptions. No facts or concrete evidence needed to fuel their fascinating folklore. But what really caught my attention while exploring this mystifying tale is something entirely unexpected. While digging deeper into crystal skull lore, I stumbled upon an intriguing side story that's equal parts mysterious and under the radar: the so-called Hands of the Ancients. If you think the crystal skulls were enigmatic, these relics take the cake, with their eerie presence lurking in obscure corners of the internet. These ancient hands, carved from materials like ivory or dark wood, have been turning up in unexpected places: old trunks from colonial explorers' journeys, forgotten museum storage rooms, and even dusty mansions in Wales and Vienna. Each hand, carefully crafted to be lifelike and unnervingly realistic, presents the same enigmatic image: a human palm facing outwards, fingers slightly curled as if waiting for something or someone. What's truly striking about these artifacts is that they're often found without any identification or context, leaving only an unsettling sense of anticipation, as if they've been silently watching and waiting for centuries. As collectors began to label these mysterious hands with names like spirit hands or mourning tokens, it became clear that no one actually knew their true purpose. But despite the uncertainty surrounding them, a pattern started to emerge. The more of these relics came to light, the more their global origins became apparent. It turns out they've been turning up all over the former territories of the British Empire. Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, and India are just a few places where they've been discovered. One hand was allegedly found buried under Sudan's majestic lion temple, with its fingers pointing directly at the solstice sunrise, an eerie alignment that raises more questions than answers. Another hand was reportedly unearthed in Kenya, carefully wrapped in copper wire before being sealed inside a clay urn, leaving us to wonder what significance this careful preparation held for their creators. The carvings on one of these enigmatic hands showed a stunning connection to ancient star maps from Dogon cosmology, a discovery that even predated Western knowledge of Sirius B by centuries. Unfortunately, this particular artifact vanished during the chaos of World War II, leaving us with only faded memories and written records as its legacy. No photographs remain to guide us on our quest for answers. Despite the loss, researchers in the early 20th century began piecing together a mystery. They believed these intricately carved wooden and ivory hands were just fragments of something much, much bigger, an ancient system known in scattered whispers only as Dash. Fast forward through history, these extraordinary hands of the ancients were whispered to be relics from a hidden African civilization that actually predates the earliest Mesopotamian records by millennia. The craftsmanship is unmistakably sophisticated for any Stone Age tribe, leaving us with a puzzle that's only just beginning to unravel. According to lore, the creators of these enigmatic artifacts weren't humans at all. They were known as the Sky Ones, or travelers from the stars, who brought not just knowledge and healing, but something more mysterious. And here's the kicker: it wasn't about symbolism. These hands were intricately carved to store information in a way that didn't rely on writing, but rather in their very form. Now, here's where things get seriously intriguing. Different traditions have their own theories about what these hands can do. Some say they hold memories encoded in gestures that we've yet to decipher. Others claim they can transmit energy or intention, like secret keys unlocking cosmic doors. Then there are those who believe the hands actually mark places on our planet, but not for burying the dead. They're more interested in what's waiting to return. And just like ancient skulls, these hands come with a mysterious prophecy. 13 scattered clues that were meant to protect their incredible power from falling into the wrong hands. But when all 13 are reunited, watch out. Because instead of unleashing chaos or sending a message, they're said to trigger something much more profound: a reawakening, a shift in our reality. But here's where things get even wilder. When you map out the supposed locations of these skulls and hands, a weird pattern starts to emerge. It looks like they're somehow connected. Now, your detective instincts are probably kicking in, and you've probably Googled hands of the ancients already. only to find nothing. No articles, no museum listings. And that's because, I'm afraid, everything we just talked about, completely fabricated, every single detail made up for your entertainment. But here's the thing, I didn't conjure this out of thin air. I used a tried and true formula to build this mystery. Remember how the Grand Crystal Skull gained its fame? It was by taking obscure objects, ripping them from their genuine backgrounds, sprinkling on some mystique, spiritual buzzwords, and a pinch of extraterrestrial intrigue, voil. An ancient enigma that's just believable enough to capture our imaginations. I even threw in the 13 relics scattered across the globe prophecy because, let's face it, we've all been conditioned to expect that from these tales. The real magic happens when we frame and present an object in a specific way, not when the object itself is extraordinary. And if you're feeling nosy, let's debunk these hands of the ancients. They're simply glove stretchers from Victorian England, designed to prevent wrinkles in gloves, not channel ancient wisdom. The wooden ones. Forget about it, they wouldn't have lasted a couple of centuries, let alone 2 millennia. Come on, admit it, our imaginations ran wild filling in the gaps and inconsistencies because the myth was just that captivating. Same goes for those crystal skulls, none were discovered by professional archaeologists in their original settings. But who cares when the story behind them is so alluring? But here's where things get really interesting. Not a single one of these crystal skulls has ever been confirmed as pre-Columbian. Every time they've been put under the scientific microscope with techniques like dating, tracking their history, analyzing tool marks, they just don't add up. Microscopic inspections have blown the lid off the myth, revealing that most skulls were carved using rotary tools from the 1800s, not ancient obsidian blades or flint knives as claimed. These modern tools leave behind a signature circular grooves, uniform scratches and striations that no human hand from centuries ago could have possibly made. So it's not some extraterrestrial tech we're dealing with here, but rather 19th century craftsmanship at its finest. Now, let's dig into the crystal clear evidence that further shatters this mystique, literally. Many of these so-called ancient skulls aren't even carved from materials native to Central America, but instead came from European or Brazilian rock crystal mines. Think about it, if we're talking about ancient Mesoamerican civilizations leaving behind sacred relics, wouldn't the materials used be sourced locally? It's a pretty big plot hole in this story, and it gets even more convincing when you consider that 2 of the most famous skulls, now at the British Museum and Smithsonian Institution, have undergone extremely thorough scientific testing. Here's the deal. It turns out those 2 superstar skulls at the British Museum and Smithsonian Institution, complete fakes, likely handcrafted by German master carvers back in the 19th century. But how did this ancient forgery frenzy start? It all comes down to cold hard cash. You see, during the late 1800s, there was a gold rush for ancient artifacts. European and American collectors were going wild, trying to get their hands on rare treasures from the Americas. The demand was skyrocketing, but the real stuff was getting super scarce. This created the perfect storm for these fake skulls to pop up and make their way into some of the world's most prestigious museums. Dealers got caught up in the frenzy and took matters into their own hands. They brought in the experts. They hired skilled artisans, mostly in Germany and France, to whip up the kind of ancient relics that collectors just couldn't get enough of. And we've even tracked down the mastermind behind many of these fake artifacts. His name is Eugene Babin, a French antiquarian who was working in Mexico back in the day. This guy was on a mission to make a splash and rake in some cash by creating these relics that would leave collectors speechless. The British Museum's infamous skull. Yeah, it turns out that's one of Babin's masterpieces, now proudly labeled as a modern fake. Now, let's talk about why crystal skulls became the ultimate collector's item back then. They were the perfect combo of cool, mysterious, and virtually unprovable. Just take the Mitchell Hedges Skull of Doom as an example. This skull suddenly pops up at a London auction in 1933, and it's bought by F.A. Mitchell Hedges. No record of it before that, mind you. But here's where things get even juicier. The hole discovered by my daughter during an expedition story didn't surface until later, and boy, did it change over time, getting more and more dramatic with each retelling. The crystal skulls, mystique made for some seriously compelling tales, but not so much when it comes to digging up real history. Are these ancient treasures carved by a long-lost civilization, imbued with sacred powers and secrets of the universe. Nope, but what they really show us is how easily myths can take shape and how we often wish they'd be true. So, let's cut through the mystique. If you're ready to get in on the fascinating story behind these skulls, keep watching. Here's the deal, we're about to shake things up. Get this, I've got a super simple roadmap for crafting your own ancient artifact cult in just 5 easy-peasy steps. Let's dive right in. Step 1, uncover something totally quirky. You know, that one weird gadget from Grandma's kitchen drawer that nobody understands. Grab that mysterious metal thingy, maybe it's an old shoehorn or a pipe tamper. Honestly, doesn't matter what it is. Now that we have our quirky artifact, let's sprinkle some magic dust on it. For step 2, we're going to give this mysterious thingy an enigmatic name, one that'll leave people scratching their heads and sparking curiosity. Don't just pick something boring. Think along the lines of Curvus Stone of Celestial Balance, or the Etcha Keeper. The wackier, the better. Let's conjure up a name that whisks viewers into an air of mystique, like uncovering a long-lost secret. Something that sounds etched in time, yet sends shivers down your spine. The kind of title that'll have you double-checking your locks at night. Consider the Chrono Chalice, or perhaps the Echo Keeper's Sefer. The name alone should be enough to make you wonder what untold stories it holds within. Now let's dive deeper, where the sands of time conceal remnants of a world beyond our own. Imagine an ancient realm, one that flourished before the waves swallowed its glory whole. Atlantis, with all its mystique and secrets buried beneath the blue horizon. Envision it as you breathe life into these relics, the Chrono Chalice, crafted by the Atlanteans to harness the very fabric of time, or the Echo Keeper's Cipher, a mysterious artifact passed down through forgotten generations, holding whispers of their lost knowledge. Let's weave our tale further. Picture an ancient metropolis, hidden beneath the waves of time, known as Lemuria, where wisdom and knowledge were said to be born from the earth itself. Or perhaps you'd rather journey through Mesopotamia, a land of legendary cities before the Great Flood reshaped its destiny. And for those seeking that extra layer of intrigue, imagine a cryptic artifact surfacing in 1432, sparking whispers of an ancient power. Some say it was unearthed by secret Nazi expeditions, others claim it lies hidden still, waiting to unravel the mysteries of our forgotten past. Now, let's add an intriguing scientific twist. This artifact, hidden or recovered, emits a low-frequency hum, generating a vibrational field that subtly interacts with our environment, possibly even influencing the human brain. Theories suggest it might contain non-terrestrial isotopes, defying conventional earthy origins and hinting at extraterrestrial influence. Some believe its resonance aligns with the harmonics of the human pineal gland, sparking questions about a long-lost connection between ancient knowledge and our innate potential for perception. Could this be more than just an artifact? Step 5. Let's take this story to the digital realm and make it seem as real as possible. We'll publish our findings on the dark corners of the web, where enthusiasts gather. An anonymous blog or a cryptic forum post would do just fine. To build credibility, we add some low-quality yet intriguing images, grainy photos of the artifact from multiple angles, showcasing its unusual shape and texture. And for the Pi CD rare assistance, we upload a blurry video clip, captured in poor lighting conditions. Perhaps it's a shaky phone footage or a poorly digitized VHS recording. This will fuel the curiosity of our audience, leaving them to question what they're actually seeing. Now, here's where we weave in some psychological manipulation. End your narrative with an ominous whisper, "You know they're watching me." It adds an air of mystery and danger, making the experience feel more real for your audience. Then, quickly downplay everything by claiming it was just a prank or an experiment gone wrong. However, instead of backing off, keep feeding them more fuel by explaining how you're now too scared to talk about it openly. This will pique their curiosity even further. And if someone accuses you of being dishonest, well, that's actually the ultimate win. It shows your story is so captivating that people are willing to believe or disbelieve without any concrete evidence. After all, in the world of storytelling, a compelling narrative often trumps facts and figures. Now's the time to add that final touch, a hint of unpredictability. Maybe toss in some quartz polish for good measure. Who knows what kind of enigmatic message it will leave behind? As you bid farewell,